I'm on the deck of the Titanic when I started hearing something.
110 years after the sinking of the original, Titanic 3 begins its maiden voyage to the original wreck site. However, strange things begin to occur after the ship's arrival, and a dark forces rises from the depth. Titanic 666. Fun fact, right? I watched this movie before Titanic 2, and I was confused that they made a Titanic 3 at first, because I was like, what happened to Titanic 2? I ended up spoiling myself by watching the third movie first before the second one. But after researching Titanic 2 on the internet and watching it for myself, I realised that this isn't even related to the third movie. So I was glad, because when I watched the second movie, it was about tsunamis destroying the Titanic and people just fighting, dying, and having inaccurate stuff in the movie that wasn't great. So I was thinking to myself, how the hell do we go from tsunamis carrying icebergs with it and the Titanic's exploding to Titanic being demonic and people breathing on each other? So I ended up watching this movie like 4 times, and yeah, it's terrible the more I watch it over and over again. So yeah, I also recorded my initial reaction on my phone like 3 or 4 months ago. Originally, I wasn't intending on doing an initial reaction for this movie, but then after going through my storage on my Google Drive, I found some clips that I recorded on my phone, and I was like, you know what, let me just use it for Titanic 666, why not? So Titanic 666 is also made by a shitty company called The Asylum, who made Titanic 2. This is the same company that copyright claimed my video like 4 times, even though it's fair use, and it's on YouTube, by the way, so you can literally watch Titanic 2 on YouTube if you want. That's where I literally got half of the clips from. I got the clips from Titanic 2 on YouTube because it's literally on there for anyone to watch. But I wanted to talk about it and wanted to end this Titanic trilogy. That's what I'm calling it, once and for all. So let's just get on with it. So the movie just starts off with people falling off the Titanic to their deaths, which is basically the events that happened in 1997, but with different characters. The Titanic sinks, everyone dies, a girl watches the Titanic sink from a distance on her boyfriend's death, and then she sees something in the water. And then when she looks close, something comes out of the water, and it's a ghost that drags her down, but this ghost looks more like a clown than a ghost. So that's the intro to Titanic 666, aka Titanic 3. The opening scene is where the Titanic 3 will stop at the site to do a memorial for the deceased. We are joined by these 2 annoying social media influencers, and we are also joined by the captain and her crew, and she tells them that Titanic 3 is like an improvement to Titanic 2, which to me, when I first heard about this movie, I just thought they were just going to do a repeat of number 1 and 2, but sort of change the story a little bit. So they say goodbye to everybody and to their loved ones, just like they did in the first movie and in the second one.
To the best crew on the Atlantic!
Don't get your hopes up, because that won't last long. A woman comes out of a suitcase in this abandoned place that looks like no one bothered to clean up before sailing away, like they just left it be. A woman talks about the Titanic 3 and that they should enjoy the ride. Like, she talks about how we're going to do a silence to respect the loss of the people who died on the Titanic ship. So the red-haired girl touches the property of the deceased, and then the man comes with like a really fake accent. I don't know if it's like a Scottish or Irish accent, I don't know.
Put that down. What are you doing? Don't touch that.
He's like, these precious items are not supposed to be touched. But it turns out that her ancestor was on board this Titanic, and she wants to get the items back because it's disrespectful to collect the deceased items. The man's like, I was a leading technical advisor of the discovery of the wreck, which is obviously not true. He's just putting them in museums for people just to look, basically for money. So she steals her ancestors' items while they're not looking, and then she leaves while they're like distracted by the artifacts and being amazed by it. So the Scottish man has like a fight with this dude, and he starts hitting on this girl in front of the boyfriend/husband. I don't know what they are. So they carry on walking in the hallway, but this guy comes out of nowhere and greets up behind them for like no reason. And then there's just like a really boring conversation with them just talking about the ship, and it's just no one cares. So the girl asks, when do we reach the site tomorrow? When do we reach the site? And he says tomorrow night, which is very, very quick, because didn't it take them, I swear it took them 3 days to get there. I mean, that's not even the only thing that's just inaccurate in this movie. So the Scottish man talks to this old guy about the Titanic, and the old guy's like, "You've seen the ship? Have you been there?" What? This dude wasn't even born yet, so how the hell would he have witnessed the Titanic's sinking? Like, what? And then he's like, "This ring is mine," which it clearly isn't. It's like the captain's ring that he stole from the ship. And then there's like a conversation where he's like, the old man wants the ring, but then the guy's like, "No, it's my ring." And then he's like, "I'll pay you for that ring." And he's like, maybe. He's like considering it.
That was the Titanic 3.
Why did she say it like that?
Hi guys! I bet you're gonna want to know what hidden treasures in around here.
Yeah, we're gonna take you guys where no man is gonna run.
You're in like a fucking boiler room or something in a basement. Like, that's nothing interesting. So it turns out the red-haired girl is a Satanist, which she is smothering the demon, and then these influencers somehow find this abandoned place because they're like live streaming it on board the Titanic, and they're trying to like look for some interesting things. And then they come across this girl who is like performing a satanic ritual, and they see this and they say like, "Oh, she's creepy, she gives out like old vibes and super weirdo," just wondering what she's doing. And this girl pops up out of nowhere and then joins them, saying that, "I watch your live stream, so I came to watch what you guys are doing," which is a bit strange because how did you know where they were? This ship is massive, it's like a bloody maze. You guys are just watching her perform this satanic ritual, and the camera dies, so they leave because they're like, fuck it. This girl is just as annoying as the influencers. She talks too much, and honestly, I was more happy when she left because the Scottish man came and pretty much just told her to fuck off, sort of. And again, the Scottish man hits on this girl trying to fight with this dude in the same place and in the same area, just different outfits.
Do you even hear yourself? Do you ever like stop and think about or even feel bad for monetizing the suffering of other people?
Bit rich because you were literally vlogging the Titanic. So, but he does come across as creepy anyway. He even tries to touch her again, and because even though she's taken. So they've reached the final destination and they have a moment of silence to remember the people on board the Titanic. So after spending like, I don't know, 2 hours doing her ritual, a gust of wind comes out of nowhere and she's demonic now, because that's how it works. So red hair girl has like brought in the captain and they share link now. I don't know. The influencers are drinking, which is like called the iceberg.
The Titanic special. It is called the iceberg.
Why? And out comes a ghost playing his violin, and the influencers are not even suspicious about it. Like, they're just like, let's dance. So the power goes off. By the way, this isn't the first time the power is going to go off. It's going to go off like throughout the whole scenes pretty much. Then an irritating sound that is really annoying. It drags this dude with terrible CGI, and guess what? We never see this guy again. He is just gone. There is no body on board the ship. Like, we don't find his corpse or anything. What the hell? What the fuck just happened to him? He just grabbed him with terrible CGI. The Scottish man comes out of nowhere and again tries to hit on the girl while she's wondering what happened to her boyfriend / husband. And he's like, "I'll get you a drink and then we can find him after." And she's like, okay, you go, I'll join you when I get my camera. And then she decides to vlog.
I don't know what happened. I started hearing something, and then Jackson was here, and now he's gone.
Then a ghost appears and then violins her to death, which is just stupid. What the fuck? I mean, like, look at this scene. It's so weird. Like, look at the editing in this. He just violined her to death. What? So Scottish man talks to this old lady and they look at the lifeboat that is inside a ship. They look and it's kind of foreshadowing what's going to happen. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what will happen. Will someone die from it? Probably. He also gives her the necklace of the deceased. Then two black dudes find this girl's lifeless body on the floor. This dude comes in the headquarters and they inform the captain about the dead girl. So she's like, let's get a hold of her phone and check up who she was with before she died. We have this dude who is the engineer in the ship. They have one engineer in charge of a ship, by the way. They have one engineer. We only see him. We don't see any other engineers. So he sees something passing by. He gets instantly scared, not even knowing what that person is. Like, you don't know what they are yet. They could be just a regular person just walking by. But he doesn't see who it is and he just gets scared immediately. And then, oh, a ghost comes out of nowhere and his head is blown off by a ghost. How is that even possible? I don't know. So they're checking the phone and they see that the Scottish man was the last person to see this girl. So they decide to go and confront him. I mean, there isn't exactly proof that he did it because he left walking in the opposite direction. And she was looking at us, which doesn't make any sense. And also, if they were live streaming it, right, how the hell would the footage automatically go on her phone? They weren't even recording it, they were live streaming it. So I don't know how that's even possible. So they confront him and ask about the dead girl and they want answers because she died and because he was the last person to see her. Again, the evidence they have against this guy is so bad because it doesn't literally proves nothing. So he gets locked up. But before he gets locked up, it turns out that this dude is also selling artifacts as well, and he orders the Scottish man to keep quiet about some sort of little arrangement, which is money related obviously. But they both want to sell the artifacts for different things. For instance, one of them wants to pay their debts, the other one wants it for just money. They just want money. So the Titanic is overriding and it's out of control, and the captain orders the controls to be fixed as she leaves to investigate. The old woman sees the ghost and the ghost notices her necklace, and the old woman is wearing it and it strangles her with it by breathing on her right. Choked to death? What is happening in this movie? The captain and the dude see the engineer's body with no head and the machine overloads and it's gonna blow, but the captain decides to just carry on, like trying to stop it, but then she makes it worse. She pretty much just fucked up the engine room and so the captain fucked up the power, and this isn't the second time the power goes off again. Even the radio isn't working, like nothing's working.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Titanic 3. We've had an engine room explosion and are adrift. Does anyone copy? Over.
Do you know how I mentioned that there was only one engineer in charge of the ship? Well, according to the captain, there was supposed to be 50 engineers. So, what happened to the 50 engineers, you're probably wondering? Well, I don't know. We never see them in this movie. So they're either dead or they just never came. This next scene, the captain gets one firefighter to fix the engine room. Oh my god, first we had one engineer, now we're sending in one firefighter to fix this. This is so dumb because he ends up dying anyway because, like, I don't know, we never see him again and we never see his body, so we have to assume he just died by the ghost. So they need to figure out how to get the power working because the iceberg is near. This dude uses the radio even though the radio isn't working, it's been fucked. I don't know, he just uses it for, like, he tries the radio 3 times but doesn't fucking work. This guy's investigating but a ghost appears, probably to kill him. This guy tries the radio again for like the 4th time. The captain just tells the passengers what happened and that you remain calm. I mean, if I found out that we were stuck in the middle of nowhere where there's like no chance that I will survive, I'd be running up and down the boat like Marge did in Simpsons. The difference is, right, the plane didn't take off yet, so Marge literally could get out if she wanted to. In Titanic 666, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? So you're kind of fucked. So yeah, it's easier if they just like evacuate because they have lifeboats, but nobody evacuates. They don't decide to evacuate. They're just like, no, we can do this, we can get it fixed, which is so stupid. Scottish man is locked and he sees water coming in and the lights just flickering for no reason, and he tries to call for help, but then the ghost appears, makes an irritating noise and it starts glitching as it's approaching this guy. It's just, I don't know why they glitch. Like, what are they? A TV? It's like they came out of a TV screen or something. Also, why is he blue? Like, I wanted to say maybe it's the lighting that's making him look blue, but everything's happening in dark places, so there's just so many things that are just completely questionable. He starts breathing on this guy, which is just weird, like fucking hell. Annoying girl comes out of nowhere and shows the captain the exact same video they have already seen, which is stupid. And she tells him that the ghost did this. Again, no proof. Like, literally. Even watching this, you can clearly see that there's no fucking ghost.
Do you see that? That light?
It's a ghost.
Like, I can't even see it, and I'm the viewer who's watching this knowing that there was a ghost, but then she shows a video of what they've just watched, but no ghost. So they ignore her because she's stupid and she doesn't actually have actual evidence. How did she know where the headquarters were? How did she know where they were? This girl just randomly finds her way around this Titanic without getting lost, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. This dude sees the Scottish man on the floor having like PTSD of what he just saw. They get him to talk to the captain, and then he gets pissed off at the captain because he's like, I don't know what kind of trick you're doing here. Like, I could have been killed by a corpse, he says. And he's like trying to figure out what the ghosts are because he doesn't know that they are a ghost. He just thinks that it's a corpse. And he's like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know. It was something weird, like something strange. Let me help you out. Scottish man, it's very simple, and I think most people would recognize that it is a ghost. But they ignore him because they love ignoring all the warnings. As they're walking in the hallway, red-haired girl comes out of nowhere from hiding, and the Scottish guy's like, I know her. She was hanging around my treasure, and that she's causing this whole thing. I mean, technically she is causing it, but as far as they're concerned, she's just a regular passenger just passing by on board the Titanics. And again, you have no proof that she has done this. Like, if you're gonna accuse somebody, right, at least have evidence to support your claims, otherwise you're just going around accusing people without actual proof. But she somehow knows about the influencer's death, and she also tells him that because he stole the old passengers' artifacts, he's cursed them and the ghosts are angry and they want revenge. She also tells him that this is his curse and that everyone's gonna die in front of you because you have brought the curse upon them. He's escorted back to his room, but a ghost appears and he rightfully runs off, but the black man just stares at the ghost instead of running.
Hey, back in your room. Sir, I'm talking to you.
Why are you staring? Like, you're having a conversation with a fucking ghost. The ghost glitches again on screen and kills the black dude. Yeah, no body is found, by the way. Just disappeared. Just like the other guy. We never see him again because he's just gone. We don't know if he's even a ghost. So now the demon red-haired girl is in the room and the other black dude notices her and he knows that she's a demon. So the ghost appears and the dude shoots the ghost, but the bullet hits the black dude somehow. What? How is that even possible? The ghost breathes on this girl and she's possessed by the ghost somehow. I don't understand. I don't get that. What the power goes off again and they bring out the torches from their phones instead of an actual torch. Just because if your phone dies, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, it's modern day technology, so I'm not really surprised. I'd probably do the same thing. She sees a ghost and she screams, but it disappears. But they figure out how to get the power working. She grabs this dude and she causes him to pass out and she escapes. Scottish man just like packs his belongings to get out of the ship. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. Where the fuck are you gonna go? Like, where are you gonna go? You're gonna jump off board into the fucking freezing cold water? And then he sees like this naked woman who I can't fucking show, who is a ghost that is having a shower, and it scares him. Lights are just flashing everywhere. This dude regains his consciousness. He's trying to go and find help for this dude and he's able to escape too. The ghost comes towards this guy and then breathes on him. She breathes out black dust on him and kills him. This is like the 10th ghost that's glitched. Demon red hair girl takes control and fucks up the controls somehow, causing the Titanic to hit directly towards the iceberg any minute now. The captain tries to reason with the demon girl.
Killing all these people will not bring you back. It won't change anything. Regina! I can't control the controls.
Also, I forgot to mention, the captain is inside the red-haired girl. And then the captain's like, you're the only one who can fix this. And then she's like, I know, but she commits the unthinkable. And everybody holds on tight while the Titanic heads towards the iceberg. So the passengers are aware that the ship is going down. The captain calls for help, but there is no answer, which there hasn't been any answers since since the start of the movie. The Scottish man is like, this is my fault, I did this, I need to make this right. And the captain's like, okay, you can make this right if you literally evacuate everybody and get them on the lifeboat now, because the Titanic's going down. Catastrophe happens, everyone's freaking out, the dude takes the artifacts, but before he leaves, the girl from before is a ghost now, and he tries to give it back, but he shoots the ghost, not learning from the first time, and she breathes on him, she breathes on the gun, and then makes him accidentally commit the unthinkable. By the way, no wound or blood or anything, and he moves after killing himself by accident, or maybe because the boat was moving, so I kind of understand. The captain is evacuating everyone and she's using the radio, even though the radio has not been working throughout this whole film. Some of the passengers get killed by the ghost by being violent to death. Annoying girl is freaking out, wondering where to go, which is funny because she figured out where to go when she went to the HQ and the basement. CGI water comes in, everyone's falling off the Titanic. This dude is now a ghost somehow and he kills this woman with a lifeboat, which I definitely did not predict that would happen in the beginning of the movie. So they managed to get most of the people on the lifeboats, but some die while they are on the lifeboats because the ghost snaps the rope. The captain is the last person on board the ship. And you know, the captain always goes down with the ship. Let me guess, this is going to be the end. Is it the end? The end. Fuck. It's not the end yet. Fuck. And then Scottish man has his private lifeboat somehow, and the captain survives the freezing water somehow. Like, that water is proper freezing. You would have died of hypothermia. She's safely pulled up by the guy, and he said it's ironic that he lived. But the captain's like, you got everybody out, but he dies. That's how it ends? What? So this is a 2B original film. It's both interesting and questionable for several reasons. It was released on the 110th anniversary of the original Titanic disaster. The film reimagines a modern cruise ship, Titanic 3 haunted by the spirits of those who died in 1912. It's interesting because it combines historical tragedy with a supernatural horror and modern influencer culture, offering a bizarre but timely commentary on the society's obsession with fame and spectacle. Its campy, over-the-top style appears of low budget or so bad it's good horror, and it fits within the growing trend of viral streaming content. However, the film is also deeply questionable due to its exploitative premise, using real-life maritime tragedy as the basis for a ghost story filled with cliches, bad acting and shallow writing. Critics have labelled it as like tone deaf and disrespectful, especially given its release date and the lack of historical sensitivity. While it may entertain those looking for a absurd horror, it raises valid concerns about how far the media will go to turn real events into entertainment. It's satire. I mean, it includes modern themes like influencer culture, media exploitation and corrupt greed, given its like satirical edge. Like, I understand it's meant to be, I think it's meant to be satire based on the weird comedy behind it, but overall at least it's fun to watch these terrible acting and stuff. It delivers absurd plot lines, dramatic acting and cheesy effects, making it fun in a so good it's bad way. Why is it called Titanic 666? What's demonic about it? The film is called Titanic 666 to evoke a sense of supernatural evil and horror, using the devil's number as a reference to the biblical number of the beast. However, this is misleading because if you think about it, these ghosts aren't really that evil. They're just pretty much telling you to stop fucking with their shit and like get lost. Like, it doesn't really include demons or satanic stuff. Like, yeah, if you see the red-haired girl doing her satanic ritual stuff, you could say that's demonic and intimidating, but if you look at it at the ghost perspective, they actually have a valid reason to why they're pretty much doing what they're doing. The Devil's Number appears to be more of a shock value and marketing aiming to attract horror fans with promise of something evil and extreme, but the concept falls short of that implication. Like I get it, they want to make it scary, but it was more of a satire than scary. People have said that the film uses a real disaster where 1,500 people died as a backdrop for fictional ghost horror, which many may see as insensitive and exploitative. So we just get Titanic 2, that's a low-budget disaster film that plays its concept straight. It's ridiculous for its acting and effects. Then we get number 3, that's a supernatural horror parody that uses ghost and social media influences to create outrageous ghost ship horror with satirical undertones. So you guys decide which one you prefer. Like, if you prefer the cheesy disaster movie that tries to be serious, go for number 2. If you prefer the ghostly horror with absurd zero realism, go for number 3. Either way, I prefer number 3 just by it being more... The concept is a bit interesting. I don't recommend it. Like, I don't like the movie, but like I prefer this concept more than Titanic 2. Come on, a tsunami carrying an iceberg with it, like what the hell? Come on man, it makes us look like science doesn't exist in Titanic 2. Like, does science exist in Titanic 2? I mean, science doesn't exist in Titanic 3 either, but at least we get like a fucking horror in Titanic 3. Like, I'm just saying. Either way, both movies are poorly made, attempt to cash in on an enduring legacy of the original. It's offering shallow storylines and superb acting and cheap special effects that fail to do justice to the historical significance of the original events. It's produced by The Asylum, a studio notorious for its mockbuster and low-effort imitations of successful films. These movies don't aim to honour the past, but instead exploit it for the easy shock value and viral attention. Rather than providing a meaningful commentary or emotional weight, they rely on absurd premise and gimmicks, turning one of the history's greatest maritime disasters into either a ridiculous horror show or an unrealistic disaster rehash. Their existence highlights a glowing trend in a low-budget cinema where quantity and controversy are prioritized over quality and respect. And despite me shitting on this movie, I can see that people actually enjoyed filming Titanic 2 and Titanic 3, despite it being a shit low-budget horror. But I can see people saying that they enjoyed like making their own version of Titanic 3, and they took inspiration from the original. And yeah, like, cool. That's all I can say. Cool. Thank you for listening to my rant on this movie. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Please don't let there be a Titanic 4. I swear to God, if there's a Titanic 4, I'll scream.